Okay, so hello everyone. DPX has been protecting your data for 21 years already. And when we started, all backups were to tape. And the beauty of our product is that data can be protected from any server to any tape device on the network. So Michael, please remind our listeners what type of tapes or tape libraries are supported by DPX.
Well, hello everyone, and thank you, Ira. And I'm sorry. Okay, sorry about this. Okay, our design and specific tape format allows to support tape library and drives if they are SCSI-2 compliant, regardless of the vendor or underlying connectivity architecture. Connectivity could be SAN, SCSI, iSCSI, connected to the host controlling tape library and tape devices. We call this host as a device server. Later, we developed support of VTL devices and backup to disk devices, emulating tape devices. In other words, our tape and tape-like devices are quite robust.
Okay, so are there any specific types of backups that are really suited for use with tape devices?
As you can see, we actually, the most suitable types of backup are NDMP backup, file-level backup, archive, and migration. That's what you can see on the screen. Before we describe the implementation specific of Amazon Web Services, which we'll refer as AWS in the future, I'd like to review some important definitions. So file-level backup is protection of files from all supported platforms for physical or virtual servers. Due to the availability of other backup types, file-level backup should be used for non-Windows or non-Linux physical servers. Data moves from a server to tape or disk directory connected either directly as a local backup or through the device server. NDMP backup is a protection of NetApp volumes. DPX supports both 7 mod and the CDOT. Data from NetApp storage array moves directly to attached tape drive or to tape drives attached to another file or SVM. We call it three-way backups, or to tape drives attached to supported physical devices, Linux and Windows. NDMP backup can be implemented for protecting DPX snapshots, as well as a more general case of using filers SIFS shares. Migration is a consolidated backup from tape to tape, from tape or tapes to tape. It's widely used when data resides on older tape formats, such as LTO4 or LTO5, and must be migrated to LTO6 or LTO7 with different retention periods. Migration is also used to move data from disk, short retention periods, to archive with a longer retention period. And finally is archive, also known for our users as a double protection, is moving data from OSS servers to tape for long archive and granular restore. These cases can be implemented using AWS. However, the most suitable case, based upon AWS pricing structure, are ones for long archive, such as migration and DNP backup or archiving.
So Michael, just I know we're all familiar, but please refresh us on how tape devices would be defined in DPX.
Well, in DPX, tape libraries and tape devices, these directories are defined within three structures, containing logical and physical definition for corresponding devices. Device cluster is a logical grouping of similar device tape devices. Tape library are conceptually device clusters with the tape drives controlled by this library. These devices are defined as a tape drive of specific type disk directory and behave as a regular tape device. For DPX to work, one of the main conditions is to make sure that all tape drives, all physical hardware, such as tape devices, library arms, etc., must be visible by operating system. Either the Windows Device Manager or Linux or Unix OS commands must return the correct output, indicating connectivity. For simplicity, I will refer to Windows in reminder of these discussions. However, all supported OS operating system can be considered as well.
So why would AWS be suitable for use with DPX, and why would people really want to do this?
Well, as I previously stated, physical devices, tape library, tape drives, disk devices must be recognized by operating system. When we developed AWS support for DPX, our main goal was to make it as easy as possible to ensure customers' experience would be seamless with a short learning curve. Apparently, AWS structure and design is such that it fully supports our DPX device paradigm. I will be presenting now several steps required to use DPX to disk directory and to using tape using AWS.
Oh, but Michael, before you do that, are there any prerequisites, and how would we actually configure AWS to work with DPX?
And that is exactly what I'm going to show. Okay, good. So this is a live AWS storage gateway screen. So you can see, so one of the main prerequisites actually, you have to be AWS subscriber, and you must follow Amazon instructions to create gateway. Amazon supports several types of gateway. Some of them is suitable for disk, and other one for tape use. So you have to choose the right type depending on your goal. Both gateways utilize S3 storage. In addition, volume gateways supports point-in-time snapshots provided by Amazon. Tape gateway supports archiving function to Amazon Glacier. From our experience, backup to disk performs slightly better because processing is reduced, because there is no tape mount, no advancing tape, etc. As you can see on the screen, we actually presented here two gateways. One is type volume cached, and another one type tape. So we will start from disk. So for volume cached gateway, when you define, you have to follow, as I said, Amazon structure. And you have to download OVA of installing a virtual machine on your VMware infrastructure. And after it's installed and connected to Amazon, it's ready for use. So the main thing what you have to take from this screen is the IP address, which I will use in the future. And to continue on, we really have to create volume. So we go to create volume. We give it capacity, which is 500 gigabytes, just for example. And the main thing here, you really have to specify some name, what you will recognize later.
So that name is going to go into DPX somehow.
That's correct.
Okay,
so we create the volume. We can if you don't want to configure CHAP authentication, you can skip this step. And right now you have successfully created your volume. So it immediately appears on Amazon list of volumes. So you can see, so let's find our volume. So this is exactly volume, what we just created, which has a target name, which has part of the target name, Amazon MAF. So once volume is created, we go to device server where you really want this volume to be installed. So right now I'm on a live Windows machine. So right now this part could be very familiar to our listeners. So we go here to iSCSI the initiator and add this Amazon storage gateway 172.20.2.114. So as soon as we add it, we can see it appears, all targets appears on this screen. So you can see actually it's all targets. So we activating the target what we want. Just go to log on.
So this is the whole part where the operating system must recognize the device.
Exactly. Okay. And you can see actually the device immediately shown as a disk manager. So we just follow operating system procedure. We online initialize, create new simple volume, follow the wizard. Usually you don't have to create anything, just follow default. And after this, volume gets formatted. It's a formatting, and as soon as actually it's finished formatting, we will see here the new letter. The volume is ready to use. Bear with me, it takes a little time. It is still formatting, and it's already done. So now you can see,
and there it is.
Volume H. It will just appear as a part of our infrastructure on this server.
Great.
So you open the volume. I mean, it's a brand new, it's empty volume. Usually you have to create folder and define this folder and define this volume as a part of DPX structure. As soon as it's done, you can start the backup. So this is what the concerned disk directory, backup to disk directory. If we now want to initialize VTL, we have to choose different type of gateway. It's a gateway of type, and as you can see, it has different IP address. And if you, as soon as you create this type of gateway, it automatically creates medium changer and 10 tape drives for you to use. Also, this VTL provides you 1,600 slots for tapes and 1,600 mail slots for export and import tapes. If you planning to use more than 1,600 tapes, Amazon gives you opportunity to use virtual shelf, where you can import and export tapes to and from, and this shelf is actually as a part of GlassShare support. So it's really for long archive. So we go back to our device server. We go and add another IP address.
So basically, we're just going ahead and adding these are all on the cloud, and we're now adding them into our operating system to recognize.
Exactly. So we go to the target, and at the target, we can see now all our media manager and 10 tape drives. Obviously, you don't have to use all tape drives. You can use media manager, definitely, which is become active after you connect it, and let's say 1 tape drive. After it's done, you go to the device manager and just make sure so you have media manager here and tape drives here. So if you add another tape drive, you immediately should see another tape drive is also appeared on this device manager.
And these tape drives are not sitting on the data center floor.
No, these tape managers are not sitting on the data center floor. So now you can see the 2 different tape drives. They emulated as IBM LTO tape drives and provide full support for DPX.
So basically, just like the old days when everything was physical, now it's all here, but it's up in the cloud.
Exactly. So as soon as you can see media manager, as soon as you can see the tapes drives here, you can define them within DPX and start to use it. So it literally takes 15 minutes, as we actually had right now, to set up and start using Amazon disk directory or tape device.
This is fantastic. Michael, thank you so much for showing this off. This is some great technology that we can take advantage of.
You're welcome, Ira, and thank you very much for listening.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Okay. Well, guys, we did get a question. It was sent to me, so let me posit that to you guys. A question was asked about what is the compression ratio for the Amazon VTL? I guess like in the physical tape world, we have a compression rate. Is there some similar thing on the cloud side?
It's supposed to be exactly emulation of LTO. It really depends how Amazon what kind of Amazon actually was supported. But from our experience, its compression ratio and the capacity of the drives actually, it's exactly like it's supposed to, I mean, for LTO 6. I mean, actually, the Amazon, it's emulating LTO 6 tape drive. So all of them is corresponding to the spec of LTO 6.
So far in our experience, it looks like it's really the real tape.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for our use, it's absolutely no difference. We don't even, the user may not even know. Actually, it's a storage administrator can define it for him, and the user administrator, I mean, backup administrator may not even know this is actually some cloud because it's just a virtual tape library, right?
Okay. Cool. So there was a couple of follow-ups to that. So if my DPX reporter shows 400 terabytes, let's say written to tape in 30 days, about how much space would we use in Amazon S3?
I would say it's the same amount. Listen, when you specify tape devices, you specify the capacity of tape devices, and all this goes to Amazon S3. But remember, actually, the Amazon price structure is to put data on Amazon is very inexpensive. I mean, Amazon definitely charge you more when you have to get data back from S3 or from any other storage actually back. So that's why I noticed actually, and I specify, this kind of support is definitely very good for long-time archiving, which is usually then DMP archiving or OSS archiving as well. So file-level backup, which we use kind of for short retention period and for kind of high probability of restore, is not kind of entirely recommended for Amazon.
Mm-hmm. But it looks like it's really emulating the physical tape, so that so the tapes can have 15 terabytes physically. We can assume based upon our experience that they would use the same 15 terabytes in S3.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. A couple more questions. They keep rolling in, which is great. So does the VTL write to Amazon S3 or direct to Glacier? Is it like a two-step process, or does it go direct? Or do we even know?
Well, Amazon. According to Amazon, this writing to VTL goes to the S3. When you use virtual shelves, and you can use virtual shelves anytime, it's just offloading tapes to the virtual shelf that Amazon is also providing using mail slots. And again, you have 1,600 slots for tapes, 1,600 mail slots, and I don't even remember what the capacity for virtual shelves. So virtual shelf is a Glacier, and S3 as a VTL itself is an S3.
Okay, cool, excellent. And does Storage Gateway add any additional compression? It's not saying it in the question, but I'm guessing maybe that's talking about over the WAN kind of compression.
Well, this is kind of between Amazon, your kind of connectivity between cloud and your shop. And as far as I know, what Amazon actually provides is some kind of buffering, which is a part of your virtual machine with virtual appliances. But when data is flowing from your shop to cloud, to be honest with you, I don't know. We have to investigate a little bit more, and I'll put it down, and I will check with Amazon and the documentation if it's done this way, or it could be configured this way.
Okay, cool. And one more for now. It says, so the DPX reporter shows data after tape compression, or yes or no?
DPX reporter shows the amount of tape which is recorded in our catalog and our logs. So generally speaking, this is the amount of data what we put on tape. If tape had additional compression, basically this numbers supposed to be kind of corresponding to each other.
Okay, cool. Well, that was a whole bunch of good questions there. Just as a reminder, again, you could submit your questions if anybody else has any. I do want to remind folks that as part of this Coffee Talk series, we are giving away a couple of Starbucks gift cards, which we'll send out later today. After the event, we'll just pick a few folks and send out some gift cards for you. So the next time we do one of these, you can have a nice cup of Starbucks, on us. So I don't see any more questions. That was good. There's a whole bunch of interesting questions. Oh, okay. One more came in. It's really more of a statement for validation. So reporter 400 terabytes would only use 200 terabytes on AWS if there was a 2-to-1 tape compression ratio.
That's correct.
Okay, cool. This is fascinating stuff. I like this tape emulation business. It's very cool. Just have that out in the cloud like that. A few clicks and you've got a basically unlimited tape drive capacity, right? You could just keep going as much as you wanted.
Effectively, you don't have to worry about air conditioning.
Exactly. Well,
yeah,
somebody else probably has
Amazon
to worry about air conditioning. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I like about it, it literally takes 15 minutes to configure.
Yeah.
If you have Amazon, subscribe to Amazon, if you kind of created gateway, it really takes 15 minutes to configure, and you can use it immediately.
You literally showed us live.
It is a lifestyle. Yeah.
All right. Question, can you review again the requirements for this capability?
Well, as Michael said, you have to be a subscriber, and then to Amazon Web Services, and then you basically need to just set up what type of a gateway you want, whether you want it to be a disk directory type of gateway or a tape directory.
So if you go to this screen, you choose a gateway. So for choosing gateway, it's a volume gateway, what you created, or tape gateway, what you kind of choose. If you choose one of these, it really doesn't matter. The next step will give you capability to download the image. So this is image, actually. It could be for VMware, for Microsoft Hyper-V, Hyper-V 2012, Amazon EC2, for different platforms where you have to create gateway. So you download the image, you take this OVA, and you install it in your VMware. And after it's done, again, we will send you several Amazon links, actually, that show you basically the steps, how to create gateway, how much data, how much space to choose for buffering, and all this stuff. Again, this is between Amazon and you and your kind of considerations. And after it's done, next step, you would be registering this. So basically, after this gateway is created and you have IP address, so it's where you register. That's where the link between Amazon and your data center.
And just as a follow-up, the follow-up question is whether there's anything additional needed on the DPX side in terms of additional licensing. And for those of you that are running with a capacity license, which is probably all of you, there is nothing else needed for DPX. No additional licensing at all.
No additional licensing and no additional kind of technical. I mean, you really don't have to do anything. It's only one thing. If you decided to use VTL, you have to be on the latest version of DPX, because we did some changes to support 1600 slots and 1600 mail slots.
So, and to Michael's point, is that we always do recommend you to be on the latest and greatest, but our product is ready for this, so you don't have to worry about anything else.
Okay, and another question. Some of these are coming in just to me, so you guys aren't seeing them. Do you have this procedure documented, and can you supply the link to that document?
Yes, we have actually. It's part of our KB, and we will send in the document what we will send you follow up with this coffee talk. We will send you a link to this as well.
And just so folks know, this is recorded, and it takes us a day or two to process the video and get it up online, but we will be putting this up on our website, so you'll be able to revisit it or share it with colleagues and so forth. So again, it takes a couple of days, but we'll send everybody a note when that recording is available. And then you can just kind of follow the steps that way if you prefer. But there is also the written document. All right?
Yep.
Okay, wow, a whole bunch of great questions. Oh, thank you. Great questions there. Okay, so last chance to submit a question. Otherwise, thank you, everybody. That was really, really good. Glad to see a lot of engagement from folks in the audience asking some nice questions. Thank you, Michael and Ira, for a great presentation. I think this has been super helpful for some of our DPX users out there. And, okay, looks like we're done with questions, so thanks, everybody, for joining us today.